Hi everyone, I hope you are doing fine. I will describe you one of the special investment account in Denmark, actually working for every citizen, is called Aktiesparekonto. So this is the special account every citizen can open, only one account for one person. That's we're going to simplify for all of you guys. Before I jumping or analyze these topics, I have a disclaimer, and I am not a financial advisor, but I have a finance education. I'm working as academia in the finance and accounting field. Student call me professor or sir, and I had also industry experience for 8 years in finance field, accounting, finance, internet control, and also all of my education in finance, my bachelor, masters, two masters in abroad, and all the courses. And right now I'm also working as a committee and teaching to undergraduate level and accounting, finance, managerial accounting. So this is the short disclaimer. So before you make a decision, you have to make your due diligence. So remember that. So this is only for sharing the knowledge and information purpose. And also one of the point I would like to mention, 82% people are following and listening this channel, watching this channel, but they are not subscribing. You only need few seconds to subscribe, then you can notify all this related information. I have a plan to cover all the topics related to the personal finance, related to the investment opportunity for your child, housing, and all these things. Please follow that. Okay, jumping to the particular topics, the Aktiesparekonto. I already said this is the special kind of investment account for every citizen in Denmark. Every citizen in Denmark, the only open one account, maybe from the bank or maybe from the Bucharest, Saxo, or the Nordnet. And every citizen that have some limitation of the amount you can invest for through this platform. There are some platform for the investment area for this Aktiesparekonto, one kind of that. So this content only focus for this particular area. This is the Aktiesparekonto platform. So this year is the amount limit is 174,200, and is every year is changing, the proportionately increasing that. Last year 2025 it was 166,200, and 2024 it's 135,900. So this year 2026 is 174,200, but for the new government, the coalition government, they have one proposal is oncoming that would like to increase the amount to 500,000. What is the reason for that? Their proposal for the want to create the investment culture in Denmark, like USA, So every people will be invest and get a more return and paying less tax. So the tax is 17% if you use this special investment account. You cannot be open this account from other country. This is the special account only for the Denmark, is applicable for the Denmark, and you are tax paying in Denmark, then you can open that. There are no age limitation. You can open for any gender, even though you can open for the children. But the rules is same for every category. Even though you invest for the children, you have to pay the 17% tax. And I already mentioned their amount limitation 174,200 for this year. You can invest whole money at a times. You can also invest lump sum. Finance is called lump sum. It means like as a 50,000. I mean, according to the your amount capacity, you can invest for that. Okay, and you can open this kind of account from the bank or the Nordnet or Saxo bank. But the bank is quite compared to the Saxo bank and the Nordnet is a little expensive, but I'll recommend to you. The bank is expensive, but the Saxo and the Nordnet is cheaper. But the Saxo is more cheaper, and the second one is the Nordnet than the bank. I have been the Danish bank, but it's a quite expensive one. But I have to keep it for other account for my family also. But my wife has an account in Saxo bank, but it's quite cheaper. That's why I know that. Okay, so for this special account, you can invest in any kind of category of the investment. What does mean that? You can invest in particular share, you can invest in index fund, you can invest in ETF, you can invest in bond, any kind of. There are no limitation. It's completely open, but only you have to pay 17% from the return. The return, the investment, there are always two return. It's the price of the share increase, also dividend of the dividend you receive from the company. Dividend means part of the profit you receive from the company. Every company quarterly they declare the dividend, but some of the company in Denmark they're paying half yearly dividend. So this is the dividend. So this is the dividend. When you return is a part of the profit you receive, you have to pay the tax. So if you use this platform, you only have to pay 17% tax. Yes. So compared to the other investment account or compared to the other income from Denmark, this is the one of the cheapest tax platform you can use and get a return, only 17%. For example, you compare your own income, you have to pay from 37 to 55% tax. There are category of the tax percentage you have to pay, depend on your income. For your pension, you're only paying 15.3%. This is the lowest, this is the second lowest. But the pension you're not going to be on cash now. You have to wait until the retire. So I'm not going to analyze for pension, but this is the one of the cheapest investment or special account for every citizen to use that. So their amount limit and is gradually increased, but there are one proposal I already mentioned to increase the 500,000. There are some disadvantage. What is the disadvantage? You have to pay lagerbeskatning. What does mean? Lagerbeskatning means you have to pay unrealized gain tax, even though you haven't sold your any particular share or index fund or ETF, or you not gain anything. In the system is gain, and you have to pay tax on that. So it's but fiscal year. So it's a January to December. It's called fiscal year. Every 12 month they are calculating this tax. For example, you invest the money for 100,000 today. After the year end, 31st of December finish, 1st of January, system will automatically start calculation from there how much the money increase. For example, it's increased 120,000. For this 20,000, the return you have to pay 17% tax automatically. That will taking out. So this is called lagerbeskatning. But you haven't sold that. Is in the system increase the money 120,000, and from this 20,000 that will be increased. If it decrease money, for example 100,000 increase and it is 90,000, this is the 10,000 it going to be adjust in next year. From the investment is increase, it going to be adjust with that. This 10,000 next year, if it's 90,000, again increase in 120,000. For this 10,000 you don't have to pay any tax, only you have to pay for the increasing amount what you haven't paid the tax yet. So that's the way it will be increased. But if you sold and out from the Aktiesparekonto, so you will be losing the money. So you have to be keep in mind on that. So lagerbeskatning, this is the one of the complicated Danish tax system. The same tax system is actually the following for the pension also. The pension also, from the return, they're automatically taking the 15.3%. So it's a complicated Danish taxation. I mean, it's so complicated, you cannot be compared with other countries. Other countries quite open, in the world there are few countries actually following unrealized gain tax. I mean, it's quite complicated and quite strict tax rules. So from this return you have to be 17. Same like pension you paying, maybe most of the people don't know that they're taking the money 15.3% every year. So this is also the lagerbeskatning. So I have one of the video you can follow that regarding the pension. I simplify the pension rules and the category of the pension option in Denmark. I think it's a good one. You can check this out. So this kind of special account only for people who are living and everyone able to use. There are no age category, but you cannot be open more than one, and there are amount limitation. I already mentioned the tax 17%, and there are some proposal coming from the new one of the party from the coalition government. Hopefully it will become, and it's a good I like it. I'm waiting to see how it will be work. And I just actually received a letter from the Danske Bank. Before it was only possible to invest through the Aktiesparekonto, only the index fund. Now also you can go for particular share, and from the Danske Bank actually you can go month of sparing, also monthly investment in the Aktiespare platform. When you go to the monthly of sparing, monthly investment, you don't have to pay any buying cost for that, so it's a free of cost, so you can saving some money on that. So I will recommend to you, I mean, this is the one of the good platform. Everyone can and think and little bit get some fundamental study on that. Basic thing you have to know that how the system work, and then you can be find out what is good for you. And if you open this account and invest some money and invest, and that basically it will be compounding through this account, and you have to only have to pay 17% tax beside your active income. Of course, we are busy with my job, and if you open one of the another income streams, and there's one of the good one actually. There are you cannot be open two account, and you cannot be go for the amount the limited for you, so why not you take this advantage if you're living in Denmark. If you're living in other country, you cannot be get that. If you're living in Sweden have another kind of account, but not this kind of account. So if you live in Denmark, you paying the tax and you are tax paying, you can take this opportunities and use for that, and you can use for every member of your family. Even just be 1 year child born, get a CPR, they're eligible to open that. So this kind of special account you can actually and the one more big advantage, there are another platform for investment, custody account. But the custody account, you of course you're going to invest for ETF and out of Denmark any particular index fund or ETF or bond, but at that time you have to pay high tax, the tax. But if you invest this platform for any kind of investment option, for example share, index fund, ETF, bond, only from this platform you have to pay 17% tax from return, increasing the price of the share, also from the dividend. There are two return, always remember that, the two circle of source of income for share investment. But the another platform I already mentioned, custody account, there are amount limitation also. From you have to pay 27% tax from your dividend, also from return. Then after certain amount you have to pay 42% tax. So compared to 27 and 42%, this is 17% tax. So it's quite, compared to other account, I think is quite applicable, I mean acceptable on the basis of Danish system. If you cannot be compared with the country you came from, I mean most of the countries that don't have any unrealized gain tax. Only few countries, as far I know, the following the unrealized gain tax. But even though the neighbors Sweden that don't have any unrealized gain tax. So this is the one of the I'm really not because they're systematically controlling everything that. But anyhow, I'm not a big man to criticize or analyze that, but this is my own observation. So I hope everyone can open this account and get this benefit and open some passive income and compounding for you, for your wife, for your family, for your children along the way, depend on how long you can compounding. There's, the compounding is one of the wonders, I mean specified by Albert Einstein. So compounding is not like a fixed interest rate. You can have a savings, you only get a fixed, but the compounding is like the capital plus interest, and then again the interest will be paid out. But anyhow, do you like it and do you think is worthwhile? Please follow in this channel. I have a more investment related content come up, so follow that please. Yeah, thank you, and like it and subscribe it. I already mentioned 82% people only listening, but they're not subscribed. You only take few seconds to subscribe. Please do that. Then I can also put some comment or constructive feedback. This is usable, is worthful for you, is impactful for you. Let me know. Thank you so much. Yeah, bye. Have a good time. Good luck.